So you wanna be a barber? You wanna be a barber? Okay, cool. If you wanna become a barber, there's a lot of things that you need to avoid doing that are gonna get you in trouble. But I'm gonna tell you one of the things. I'm gonna tell you one of the things that will really, really get you in trouble because I experienced it. Something happened to me. And this thing will not only take your job away as a barber, it will probably take more than just your job as a barber. More than that. I remember I remember this was a Sunday. A lot of customers, was coming in. Everything was going perfectly. We were making so much money. Everything was going. Certain customer came in, we do them. Next guy comes in, we do them, and everybody was so happy with the job, with the haircuts they were getting. Everything was going perfectly. This was a Sunday, and on Sunday, not a lot of people go in the barbershop. People usually go in the barbershop Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. Sundays people just stay home cuddling, doing whatever, hungover or whatever that it is. This was a Sunday, and we were super busy on a Sunday. So you can tell a barbershop being busy on a Sunday is it's a good thing. So we were doing all these customers, and everything was going perfectly until this guy walked in the barbershop with his son. His son is a baby. He's only 4 years old. And I took him in. I put him in my chair. I was like, I'll get this little guy. I'll do it. He looks like a calm little guy. I'll cut his hair. I started cutting his hair like a taper. He had braids, so he wanted like a little taper. And I was like, let's go to war. Let's do this. I did this side. Everything was going perfectly. I did this side. Everything was going perfectly. The back, everything was. He was moving. He's only 4 years old, so of course, he's not gonna know better. But you, as a barber, you need to be responsible what he's gonna do. Because he's only 4, you can't just leave the whole responsibility, whether move or now you're gonna mess up the haircut to him because he's a baby, only 4 years old. But he he was moving, but he wasn't moving that much. We getting through the haircut. Like I said, I did this side, everything was perfectly. This side was perfectly. I faded the back. Everything was going smoothly. He was moving from time to time, but I could handle it. I'm about to finish the haircut. Now I'm doing the shape up. That's a little bit more difficult because in this part you really need to stay still so that I don't mess up your line or push your line back. So he's not moving that much. He's moving a little bit, but I'm timing him. Okay, now he's gonna move this way. Once he moves here, I'm gonna do the line here, and that's what I did. He moved up here. Wow. Now he's moving again. Boom! I'm timing him. I'm doing everything. Everything comes out right. Everything is perfect. But then, after I finish the shape up, me being an ignorant fool, because let's be real, this problem was all my fault. I'm not gonna sit here and blame the kid or blame the customer. No. You gotta take responsibility for what you do. This was all my fault. The haircut is already finished. But my ignorant ass, that was so stupid. I decide to use the blade on a 4-year-old kid. I put the blade in because I wanted to make. It wasn't because I was being, it's just, stupid. I wanted it. I wanted the shaper to be as script as perfect as possible. So I put the blade on the Gillette, right? So I start cutting his hair, doing all this part. He's moving a little bit, but I should have been smarter and say, you know what? If he's moving this much, let me not use the blade, because there's a chance that if he moves the wrong way, I might end up cutting him. I wasn't thinking of that. I was just thinking about, I want to get this kid, I want to get this little guy to look the best. So he's moving, but but being ignorant and dumb, I don't even stop. I keep doing the shape up. I go all the way to the back. He's moving, but we're cool. Everything is cool. I even managed to do this part right here, and everything was cool. This part right here, this is one of the most difficult parts right here, because this is a long line, and it needs to be straight. If one side goes here, then you're gonna have to put this side a little bit to match the other side. And then if you make a mistake and put this side a little bit upper, then you're gonna have to put this eye, and that's how barber push hairlines back sometimes. But with me, that wasn't a problem, because like I said, I timed his movements. And once I'm about to finish, I already did this part. I did the back part, which is the hardest part. I'm doing the shape up with the blade right here. This part right here. And suddenly, my little guy decides that he wants to sneeze once I have my blade right here. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. I had the blade all the way here, and my little guy goes, achoo! Once he did that, and I had the blade right here, this whole blade went all the way, like, whoom. Bro, like, you could see all the blood coming from his face, and this is a 4-year-old kid. He's only 4. What do you think is gonna happen if you take a little kid, to the barbershop, and he's only 4 years old, and somebody cuts him? What's your reaction? Yeah, I know what you think. Yeah, exactly. The father, he's not noticing what's going on. He's not noticing. But then I'm looking for something to put on his cut to make it stop bleeding. But I can't find I can't find it. So the other barbers noticing, they're noticing what's going on. So they come in to help me. So they come in, and one of the other barbers, they had the thing for the cuts. But the problem is that the cut wasn't, I didn't just do it like a little cut. It was deep. Because like I said, my little guy decided that, shoo! And I was way too deep. So as we're working to solve the problem, the father noticed what's going on. Because he's like, wait a second, why is there more than one barber in my son's chair? So he goes in there to see what's going on. Bro, oh my gosh. Oh man. Bro, when this dude saw his son bleeding from there, because like I said, he was bleeding a lot. When he saw all that blood, bro, boy, Bro, I am lucky to be recording this video. I'll tell you that much. All hell broke loose. I mean, he didn't. It didn't. It ain't. It never got physical, but it it almost did. It didn't got physical because there's a lot of other barbers that were there, and then we try to calm the dude down. But bro, I never had anybody. I never had anybody in my whole life. Cause in your whole life you got problems with people, and you guys get into a fight, and people look at you with rage because you guys are getting into a fight. When somebody wants to have a problem with you, you already know the face they got on, right? So I never had anybody. I never had anybody looked at me with the amount of rage that guy was looking at me. And I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and be like, I handled that stuff. I wasn't scared. I handled my no. Like I said, I'm gonna be as real. I think one of the reasons why I keep getting support is because people notice that I don't lie. I'm not gonna be a fake. I'm giving it to you straight. The truth. I'm not gonna say, oh no. I'm gonna say the truth. I was extremely scared. That was one of the scariest moments in my whole life. That right there. Because I never had anybody looking at me like they wanted to. I don't want to say the word on the video, but you read between the lines, right? I never had anybody looking at me like they wanted to unalive me. Let's just put it like that. The way he was looking at me, and the thing is, like, you can't even blame nobody. You cannot blame anybody because you did that. I was the one who did that. The haircut was already done. It was already done, and my stupid self decided that, oh, let's make the shape up even more crispy. Let's make it more perfect and use a blade on a 4-year-old kid. And this is why I did this video, so that if you're bro, if you want to become a barber, this is something that you absolutely never do. You never do this, man. Ever. What do you think would have happened if that guy had one of these on him? What do you think would happen? Because I read his eyes. And oh Lord, oh my goodness. Bro, I saw death. He didn't just want to, I don't think he just wanted to fight. He wanted to me. Can you blame him though? I mean, you could blame him, cause come on, bro. Like you can't just wanna do this to somebody and take their life because of a little mistake. But at the same time, it is you did that to a 4-year-old kid. He's only 4, and you cut him. What do you think? What do you think is gonna happen? Every single barber got involved in that situation because he kept coming at me, and I don't know. I didn't even notice that if he was pulling something out of his pocket, because I was already concentrating on his eyes. His eyes had something in them that he just, I don't know, like he looked at me like with He looked at me like get it? Like it was a terrifying stare. That's it. That was the stare of somebody that they. I don't just want to fight you. I want to take it to the next level. This you have to be careful when you're doing little kids. You have to be super careful when you're doing little kids. You can't be using blades on little kids. The little bro, I was already done. The whole haircut, everything was perfectly done, and my dumbass had to go in there and use a blade. And that little dude just achoo, and boom. Bro, every the more he kept walking towards me, the more the other barbers got involved because I think the other barbers they knew what I knew when they look at his eyes. Anybody can notice that. He wanted to do damage because you bro you that was the thing is that was his first kid. Imagine you never had a kid in your life. You never had a kid. You have your first son and he's 4 months old and you take him to a barber shop and somebody cuts him and it's not even a light cut, it's a deep cut. what what is gonna be your reaction once you see your little guy bleeding? Your first kid, your first 4-year old kid. So I don't blame the guy at all, man. I don't blame him. At one point, I thought that he wanted. You know what? At one point, yes, I thought he wanted to unalive me. But at one point, I also thought that he was gonna take like a blade and just be like, "Oh, you cut my son. I'm gonna do the same to you." That's one of the things that I thought that I also thought that he was gonna do. So he's trying to come at me, but the other barbers they're getting in, and we're having a big argument. I'm trying to talk to the guy, bro. This was an accident, brother. I'm so sorry. This and that. And he's not listening. He's not listening. So we're forcing around and stuff like that. The manager of the barbershop had to step in, and they actually removed me from the front of the barbershop, and they told me to go back because the more that the guys saw my face, the angrier he got, because he's not looking at a regular barber. He's looking at a guy that cut his son's head, his 4-year old kid's head. So they removed me, and I don't know what happened after that. I don't know how they got the guy to leave in peace. I don't know how they did that. I think it was, I don't know, man, magic or something, because because the guy, he didn't look like he was gonna leave. He didn't look like he wanted a piece of me so bad. And like I said, it's not that I was scared of fighting the guy. That's not the problem. The problem is that we can see that he wants something deeper than that. I don't know how to explain it. It's just something. It's certain feeling when you look at somebody and you know what their intentions are. And he kept reaching for his pockets. So yes, I'm removed. I'm removed to the back of the barber shop. It was a big barber shop, and I'm all the way in the one of the rooms in the barber shops, and they're talking to the barbers, and I'm trembling in the other room. I'm trembling because I never had this feeling in my life. I never been there before. I never had nobody wanted to take my life away. And that's how I feel, and that's what I feel that he wanted to do. I never had nobody wanting to cut my face, and that's what I thought that he wanted to do. So I'm trembling, and I was, bro, I was so terrified that I almost passed out. I never had that in my life. You can go ahead and call me, oh, you scaredy cat, and all that, bro. Shut up, shut up. Because fighting somebody just because you don't like each other is one thing, and fighting somebody because of something that you did to his family member, a 4-year-old kid, is a whole nother level. It's a whole nother level. And I cut the little kid deep. Deep. So you can understand why I was so frightened. I thought this guy was gonna go home and get one of these and just like start doing this to the whole barbershop. That's what I thought. He was super pissed, and like I said, I take full responsibility. This was 100% my fault. You never do that. And this is the main point that I wanted to bring to you on this video. You never ever use a blade on a little kid. Ever do that. There are barbers who don't even get shape ups to little kids because with the other machine you can still cut them. It wouldn't be deep, but as deep as a blade, but it would still be deep though. But it would still be a cut. And so some kids, they don't even give them shape up. I did way more than that. I gave them a shape up, and then after that I used the blade. Stupid. Stupid. So stupid, man. That was so and every single barber that was in the barbershop, they after they defended me, they called my attention, they verbally punished me, and they told me, how could you do something like that? What, are you crazy, bro? And you can't blame them either. So I'm over here taking everything, taking it all in, and you gotta let the guys say whatever they want to say and scream because it's your fault. You did it. You shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be doing that. So I took whatever. I thought I was gonna get fired. I don't know how the F I didn't get fired. That was one of the scariest moments I've ever had. I never had anybody through when you go to high school, middle school, stuff like that. You get into fights with people, and people look at you with rage because fighting, stuff like. I never had anybody looking at me like they wanna unalive me ever. That was my first time. You never, bro. You never do that. You never take a blade. If you want to become a barber, always have this in mind. Never use a blade on a little kid. Never, ever, ever do that because it could be worse. You could lose way more than just your job. What do you think? Okay, that guy, because he had a kid. So I'm thinking that he probably left. He probably left because of, he probably thought, well, I'm not gonna destroy my life. I'm not gonna go to jail for doing this to this guy. So I'm just gonna let this go. And they convince him to leave. But what would happen if you cut somebody's kid and that person is not all up in here? They don't care about go to jail. What do you think is gonna happen if they're not good here and they actually have one of these? What do you think is gonna happen? Huh? Be careful, man. Don't get unalive out there, man. Don't get unalive. This is serious stuff. This is not something that you could choose. Oh, it's a simple mistake. No, that's not a simple mistake at all, man. Look into my face, man. Look, wait, Verbo. This is not a simple mistake. At all. You could lose your life over that. You could lose your life over that. 100% you could lose your life. Because of that, if you cut, that was his first kid. What do you think would have happened if that dude, he wasn't right on his mind, and he's one of these people that they just like, they don't care about nothing. They just see red when they get mad. I would have not make it, and he would. I would have not make it home that day, just because of that simple mistake of me using a blade on a little kid, on a 4-year-old kid. Stupid. Stupid as. And the worst part is that it's not the kid's fault. It's not the other barber's fault. It's not the father of the kid's fault. Oh, you did it. I did it. You did that. You knew the kid was 4 years old, and you decided to use a blade on the little kid. Everything that happened that day was all my fault. And I'm here to tell you so that you guys don't do the same mistake, because it could cost you way more than your job. Way more than your job. You want to become a barber? There are other things that you don't do, but I'm not going to tell you in this video. We're already 26 minutes in. So I think this video is long enough. There are other things, but I'm going to use them to tell you on another video. More things that you don't do as a barber. But this was one of the main ones, because this one could cost you your life. This one can cost you your life. They even posted the parents. They posted the kid with the cut on Facebook, and I started reading the comments, and there was a lot of comments that were like, "Oh, if that was me, I would have done this, and that. If that was me, I would have shot that dude on sight." One of those people that comment not one of them, a couple of them were saying that. What do you think is gonna happen if you cut one of those people's kids on the cut that were commenting on that video? If you do that to a grown guy and you cut him a little bit, it's still bad. It's bad. It's bad because you shouldn't. But it's not as bad. It's not as bad and deadly. It's not as deadly as doing it to a 4-year-old kid. 4, and that was his first kid. And I made that mistake. And I'm talking to you. Don't do that. Do not do that at all. Stay safe, brother. Stay safe. Don't unalive yourself. Stay safe, because that's not a simple mistake. That is a huge mistake. And depending on who the father is, that could be the biggest mistake of your whole life. Because if the guy is cuckoo and he wants to do deadly damage, that could be the biggest mistake of your life. So don't do that. As a barber, do not use a blade on little kids. Do not do that. I can't stress this enough. Do not use blade on little kids, because you could lose, bro. That could be the worst mistake in your whole life, doing something like that. If you do it to the wrong father. So don't do that. You wanna be a barber and you wanna a tutorial as to what people things not to mistake not to do. Once you're a barber, that's one of the main ones. Be careful out there. Be very, very, very careful. Be careful, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and see you guys on the next video. And before I go, do not use a blade, a Gillette. Do not use a blade, a Gillette on little kids. Don't be ignorant like I was. Period. End of story. Don't do that. See you guys on the next video. I am out. Stay safe.